On this very day, a certain number of years ago, I was in the hospital dying. It was the worst experience of my entire life, and I was alone for most of it. You promised your boyfriend that we would do this, so it was really scary to be receiving all this conflicting pressure from medical staff and your body to not do it, and then being pressured by your partner to do it. It felt like I didn't even have a choice. But it's really scary when somebody's forcing you to do it. And I did have moments of weakness where I would cry and say things like, okay, but honestly, like, can we just consider, like, what if we didn't do it? Still gonna do it, but can we just consider what would happen if I didn't? And he would say, like, no, it's not even a question. You're gonna ruin my life if you do that. That would be the worst thing to ever happen to me. As along the lines of things that he would say. And at one point, he even said that he would break up with me if I didn't do it, and that he would resent me and the potential child. And that's really stuck with me. And so at that point, it's like, well, if you're making threats like that, why should I consider you in this decision at all? I just knew something was wrong. And so I left work early. I called my boyfriend and I told him something's wrong. I'm going to the hospital again. I don't feel well. Something is wrong. And he said, okay, well, I have work to do and it involves other people, and then we're gonna go out and get dinner and drinks with them. So I had to go to the hospital alone. Finally, it seems like boyfriend is on his way, so that's nice. And he comes right in time to get the diagnosis. I had an ectopic pregnancy in my left fallopian tube. It ruptured. I've been bleeding internally ever since. They were surprised I wasn't dead. And that if I don't have surgery right then and there, I was going to die for sure. And as an added bonus, the surgery might not go well and I might die during that too. So here, sign these waivers and paperwork because you don't have a choice anymore. Yeah, for those of you who are wondering, in my nose video that I recently uploaded about when I talked about the traumatic OR experience that I had, there it is. A month ago for my nose, I was in a totally safe environment, safe OR. The PTSD, I just had a moment. I felt like I was back in that first Kaiser Permanente OR all over again, and I burst into tears and had a panic attack, and yeah, it's really affected me ever since. And the only person I could really lean on was my boyfriend, because I couldn't tell anybody. And I don't fully blame him, because that is a lot of responsibility to put on a single person, but he started to get real sick of me. I couldn't sleep by myself for the longest time, so I was over at his place, and I'm sure his roommate just, loved that. But and boyfriend started to resent me, and so I tried bottling it up even more and not telling him until I was absolutely certain that I needed to go to the doctor, and I would not be able to drive myself. Like, if I try really hard to be independent, but sometimes I just can't. And those were the moments where I just couldn't. And at one point, he was talking about how hard it was having to take care of me when I would have those moments. Mind you, I never stopped him from doing anything or going anywhere. He still continued to live his life as if nothing ever happened. And there I am in the background, in the shadows, just trying to pretend that I don't feel like I'm dying. It's really hard. And then he would, sometimes tell me things like, someone else would have left you by now, right? So the lack of support was really hard.
I'm aware of a recent video that calls out some actions that I'm not proud of, and I want to apologize. The circumstances were extremely hard and complicated for both of us, but I can't even begin to imagine how difficult it was for her. We were young, and not remotely prepared to deal with all of the realities of a long-lasting and traumatic medical situation. During the talks, counseling, and therapy we went through together following this time, I came to grips with my behavior, and recognized my shortcomings, and I would like her to know just how deeply sorry I am. I fully realize what I did wrong, and wish I could now change how I responded and acted during that time. I've grown a great deal since that happened, and I wish I knew then what I know now. I will continue to grow and learn, and strive to be a better person every day. At this time, I'm stepping away from the podcast, and the remainder of this year's live shows will be cancelled, with full refunds being issued. I will also be taking some time off from posting and working for a while.
I'm starting to feel pain again. And Gus helped me fall asleep earlier because I was really struggling. And then he hopped back on to go stream. And he was just like, for the second you want me to come back, I'll come back, no questions asked. I'll be right back, don't worry. I was like, okay, that made me feel secure. And I texted him multiple times while he was streaming. Because I'm just not feeling okay. Look. I'm like, are you almost done? Question mark. Are you coming back soon? What's up? And he would just say oh well, I have to do 10 more, it's an obligation at this point. Can I just wait a little bit, please?
Boys, I'm excited. I've been waiting all day to come home and open some Pokemon cards with my boys. Thank you again for being on here. I know I'm not usually this late. I had to stay up for a little bit, just make sure that Sabrina's doing all right. She's doing fantastic, by the way. Just had a little medical procedure, and she's feeling fucking great, but she's on a couple of medications right now after the operation, so she's been documenting it on her own social media too. Get more comprehensive info from her. Here's the Champion's Path. Gorgeous Charizard card art. Oh, Mr. Thompson, I need an ice pack.
Yeah, it's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Thank you.
I really needed that.
Hey Brady, I see you're arriving late to gym class, so in case you're wondering why I'm standing off to the side over here, it's because you probably don't want to look. Mr. Thompson, is this the worst injury you've seen as a teacher?
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Hey Mom, I got hurt real bad in gym class today. No, don't come get me. I just wanted you to know. Is there anybody else there right now that I could tell about my injury? No, don't tell Dad. I want to do it. Do you think this is going to make the morning announcements tomorrow?
I just think people should be made aware.
Here, I'll give you guys one too to make sure I stay honest. Well, my career is over.
That's a really bad one.
That's how confident I am in myself.